Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Vinyl Brew Lounge podcast, Side B session. My name is Bobby Hunter, and today we are going all the way down to Blue Ridge, Georgia, to a guy named Steffen Smith who owns an amazing record store called Deaf Man Vinyl. Steffen, welcome to the Side B session podcast.
Well, hey, Bobby, thanks for having me, man. I'm honored.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Steffen and I, this is the first time we're actually, meeting and talking. We found each other on Instagram, and I was immediately attracted to your Instagram page, and just the name alone, Deaf Man Vinyl. I'm like, what the heck is this all about? So I reached out to him. So Steffen, tell us a little bit about yourself and what Deaf Man Vinyl is.
Well, Deaf Man Vinyl, our kind of tagline is music and merch for the rock and roll soul. And so a little different than a lot of record stores that are just hardcore vinyl and maybe some stickers and some concert tees.
Yeah.
We're in a real high traffic kind of tourist area. And so we get people sticking their head in that really probably don't even have a record player. And we
Oh,
want to have, we want to have something for them as well. And so we've got basically you stick your head in and say, well, Uncle Eddie loves, Pearl Jam. Well, we got a Pearl Jam t-shirt for you, got a Pearl Jam poster for you, got Pearl Jam, about 5, 6 deep on the vinyl. So yeah, a
wow.
little bit different than a typical record store. But yeah, loving life.
That's awesome.
In it for about 5 years now.
Oh,
Um,
so pretty recent then.
yeah.
Okay.
Partner with my wife Jackie and I
Okay.
run it
That's
together. So a good
that's
B-side
fantastic.
experience, man, for
A
sure.
good B so you started the record store in Blue Ridge, Georgia 5 years ago. Out of the clear blue sky? Like, what was before life before Deaf Man Vinyl?
So life before Deaf Man Vinyls, I never quit flying the flag, man. Always had my vintage stereo gear, always
Yeah.
had my vinyl. And it was gathering dust. And just one Sunday, man, I kind of came downstairs in the bathrobe and a cup of coffee. And I think I put on Hotel California.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Actually, It's a Beautiful Day, White Dove, if you know that song.
I do know
It's
that song.
a
Yes.
beautiful Sunday morning with the
Uh-huh.
sun streaming in the windows kind of song. And I rediscovered the joy of sitting between two speakers with an album in my hand, reading the liner notes, listening to the music, and just rediscovered that joy. And off to the races,
That's great.
started looking for collections on eBay and discovered Discogs and started buying records again. It just really was back, man, after probably about a 30-year hiatus.
I think that's sort of the same for a lot of us, people in our age group. I got albums up here, obviously, but sometimes, like you said, I flip through them. I look at the line and I just like, wow, look at these. Like they're, some 40, 50, 60 years old.
Yeah.
And it brings back the nostalgia of it. So you one Sunday morning, you rediscover this and you said to yourself, let's open a record store.
No, there was some fits and starts before that. I come from a long line of schemers and dreamers, man. My dad was the king of the side hustle, man, and
Oh, really?
he said there was no money like side money. And so I could have just left it alone and just
Uh-huh.
enjoyed music again. But
Right.
of course my mind and my wife kind of cut from the same cloth, started, well, let's see if we can buy some collections, bought some collections, let's see if we can sell some collections.
Yeah.
Started wheeling and dealing, put an ad in the local paper, just hit the mother load up here. Nobody else was buying records.
Wow.
And Jackie is a web designer, and we got to the point where she, well, let's make a little website, and see what happens. And we started getting phone calls because Google kind of identifies you as a business, and
Right.
started getting phone calls from people like, hey, I'm trying to find your store, but I'm in somebody's driveway, man. I think I'm lost, because we live out in the sticks. And I
Oh.
sent them away probably about 4 or 5 times. I was like, yeah, man, this is
So wait, they'd show up at your house because they would how would they'd look on Google Maps?
yeah, Google Maps would bring it up
Are you
as,
serious?
yeah, as yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that all happened, but
That's
they would
hilarious.
they would wind up, and again, we're kind of in the part of the country where you don't just wind up in somebody's
Right,
driveway.
right.
You know, it's one, it's dangerous.
Yeah,
My
I would think
neighbors are
so.
armed and loaded, but,
Right. So wow. So people would just randomly show up like, "Where's the record store?"
kinda, yeah, and I probably about 4 or 5 times I sent them away and, just kind of explained we were online only. I think it was the 6th time I told the guy, "Man, you know what? Come on over, man. Come on
Yeah,
downstairs. We'll go down in the basement and shoot the crap, and I'll show you
yeah.
some records." And, that guy wound up buying like $180 worth of records. I still remember the
Wow.
amount, and,
Uh-huh.
he bought some records from us, and Jackie and I like, "Wow, this might be a thing." And so we
Right.
made a little pop-up store. We had,
Oh,
crates
okay.
out with, records and laid out some concert tees and just, whatever we had, and started inviting people down. And it just that
Oh, that's great.
it's not like walking in and buying a candle from a candle store. I
Yeah,
always say, everybody likes a bayberry candle.
yeah.
Man, there's something about a record, and
There
and
is.
and just that those conversations that popped up, that, "Oh my gosh, do you remember this? And let me tell you
Uh-huh.
about when I saw these guys." And,
Yep.
again, back to the candle analogy, everybody loves a candle, but nobody wants to tell you about the first time they got stoned and smelled a candle in their brother's beanbag. But man, they wanna tell you about the first time they got stoned and heard, Dark Side of the Moon, with
Exactly.
headphones.
Exactly. That's great, man. So you to do the pop-up store, where was that at?
Down in
And
the basement, down here behind me. Um,
that's
just
awesome.
set that up,
Wow.
and people, 1, 2 people a week would come. And then I've got my oldest son, Trey's my concert buddy, my music buddy,
Okay.
and he's an instigator. And he's like, "Ah,
Yeah.
you should, you guys should. You should do this. You should do this." And, the next town over, there was a little mall, and they had some space, and, there was
That's
a
fantastic.
There
Yeah.
was an existing, record store in our town, and so we didn't
Okay.
wanna compete with them, and so we, went to the next town over and started out. Yeah, and
Wow.
that's kinda how it started. We've since, that other record store has gone out of business. They just kind of reached the end of their cycle.
Yeah.
They were a little bit
Yeah.
older,
Right.
and folded up, and then so we're in downtown Blue Ridge now, which is kinda the big time. Um
Yeah, so you were saying that's a like a very tourist heavy town, Blue
Yep, we've
Ridge.
got a tourist train that people come up to ride. If you're an Atlanta couple and you've got any kinda 2 dimes to rub together, man, you come up here and get a cabin, and,
Okay.
kind of a weekend getaway. A lot of
Yeah.
Florida people have discovered us. So, yeah, tons of people coming.
That is great. So if you look back 5, 6 years ago, could you ever see yourself and your wife, Jackie, owning a record shop in Blue Ridge?
Never, uh, never.
Yeah,
But like
I
I
get it.
said, it's not out of character, man. Jack
Right.
started a couple different businesses, and it's kinda
It's
that
good.
side hustle's in the blood, I think.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. I did read one of your stories online, something about selling a vintage Camaro.
Yeah, I had a '67,
Oh, that's
butternut
tough.
yellow Camaro with black Z stripes that I had put together over 4 years with my youngest son, CJ, and he moved out. Yeah, it felt like it was time. It was a sad day, it was a hard day.
I was gonna say, was it in great like, mint condition?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We had done
Oh
a
god,
frame-off
that's
frame-off restoration, so it was in good shape, and we, got decent money for it, enough really to open the store.
so that Camaro, it was a six you said 19 what was it? 60
'67, yep,
si
first year.
the year I was born. Alright. So you sold that to help fund the opening of Deaf Man Vinyl.
We did, and it,
That's great. That's a great
actually
story.
kinda did the deal, man. It got us what we needed to get a lease, get, that initial, bunch of inventory in, and,
Yeah.
yeah, just kinda
I
survive and
That's awesome. I wanted to ask you because I've met, numerous record store owners over the last, 6 months since I've been doing this. When you buy a discography, a discog, you're talking hundreds of albums or what is that exactly?
Discogs you can't buy collections on, so you're buying ones and singles.
Okay.
Yeah, so primarily what I was doing, I ads in the paper, and I went
Yeah.
guerrilla. You know those little
Yeah.
campaign yard signs.
Yep.
I had Jackie make me up some, so we buy records, rock, pop, metal, and pretty much anytime I was out of the county, it'd be like,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah,
not
just
in somebody's yard, but a four-way
right.
stop, and
Yeah.
I'd get calls. You really had to kind of think outside the
That's gr
box. All the
how do
members.
these people price them though? You're buying these collections. How is it I mean, is it negotiating or they say this is a flat rate, here's what you get type of thing?
There's all kinds of negotiating.
Yeah.
I think 5 years in, people are a little delusional, quite honestly. If it's
Really?
round and black and has a hole in the middle, they think they're sitting on the mother lode. A
Yeah.
little easier 5 years ago. We try to be super fair. I probably overpay. I'm a crappy negotiator. But, yeah, and the number adds up with a large collection, even if you're only paying a couple dollars, each, with a
Yeah.
1,000 record collection, that's 5,
Yeah.
$6,000, and so
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
usually
I get it,
usually
I get it.
happy
And
with
then
that.
you're able to try to flip that at least over time to double like, if you buy a $3 album and you sell it in your store, can you at least sell it for 6 or 7? Or
Oh,
does it
yeah, yeah, you're
sorta
definitely
yeah,
trying to double or
yeah,
triple the
yeah, I
money.
get it. I get it. And so you guys sold the Camaro, you open okay, let's go to the name, Deaf Man Vinyl. That dude, that is a once I saw it, I'm like, "That's a great name." How and why is it called Deaf Man Vinyl?
Dude, I come to it honestly. I'm deaf in my left ear really since childhood, and
Okay.
man, I have fried my hearing. I'm a concert nut, man. I'll
Are
I'll
you?
see yeah, even now I'm doing a couple shows a month,
Oh,
but
wow.
with stage quality earphones, musician
Okay.
quality earphones. But yeah, man, literally just blew my hearing out. And I have a little story on the website. I literally can trace it back to about 1987, the Lakeland, Florida Civic Center, going to see Danny Joe Brown and Molly Hatchet opening for
Oh,
Triumph.
oh
And I
god.
never knew three guys can make so much freaking noise, man. And I
Wow.
literally, Triumph was screaming. I think, what was the album? Allied Forces, I think, had come out
Allied
maybe.
Forces was
Yeah.
right around there. Yeah,
They
yeah, that
were
was it.
screaming, and I was like, "Oh, dude, that's
Oh,
not good. That's
wow.
not good. Let me walk to the back of the arena
Yeah.
and kinda nurse my ear." But yeah, yeah, yeah. So I come by the name honestly, for sure.
No, it's listen, it's very it's and your logo is tremendous. I was like,
Ah,
who
thanks.
did Jackie do the logo?
No, that's the instigator's son, is
Oh,
also a
okay.
graphic designer. He does our T-shirts for us and does some
Oh, no,
stickers, and yeah,
that's great.
yeah,
So the Triumph concert in 1987 with Molly Hatchet. Oh, gee, Molly Hatchet. Wow. And they blow your well, you were deaf in the one ear. Now your right ear
yeah,
is affected. Okay.
yeah.
Got it. So
And then
so
just cumulative since then, I didn't learn my lesson. I really didn't start using ear protection as probably about maybe 20 years ago. But yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's so wear
Yeah.
your plugs, kids.
I know it's we go to shows. We just went to one just last week. Did you ever hear this group Leonid and Friends? They're a
No.
tremendous I gotta send you the link, man. They are like a global phenomenon, cover band, tribute band to Chicago, and they're all Russian and Ukrainian.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it literally is like Chicago reincarnated. They do Chicago, Earth, Wind& and Fire, a whole bunch of stuff. But we went, last week here in Montclair, and it wasn't too loud, but I felt and we were in the upper deck of an old theater, but I thought, "Oh," I sensed it because I've been to so many shows, never saw Triumph, but even now when we go to a concert, I'm very cognizant about the level of it, so, I'm not deaf yet, but my wife thinks I'm deaf, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Well, Guitar Center or one of
Yeah,
those kind of shops has stage quality, musician quality earphones. I think mine are
okay.
Eardasms, I think is what they
I
are.
that's yeah, yeah, I know what
Yeah,
those are, yeah.
that's a good brand.
So here we are, you start the record store, So, you've got albums, and how's because you're in a great area in Blue Ridge, right? Which is awesome. How's business? Is it decent?
Well, that's the crazy thing. When we started, it literally was in COVID had just
Mm,
reared its head, and it was kinda like, "Hey, let's start a business in the middle of COVID. Why not?"
right.
And, we opened that Saturday, and we couldn't close the doors. It got to be 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We literally could not close the doors. People kept coming in. There was this pent-up demand where I was
Wow.
at, and man, somebody must have sneezed on us, or I forgot to wash my hands, but we had COVID the next day.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Well, you got all these
Monday.
people coming in and wow.
Yep, yep. And, you get superstitious. You're like, "Oh my god, they're not gonna come back. We gotta close our doors." It's that. And
Yeah.
so we had a quick bout of COVID. I think we were down for about 3, 4 days, and then had mask. In fact, one of our record distributors sent everybody these really cool, 33 and a third masks, and so we
Oh, that's
wore
awesome.
those. Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So you survived through COVID, and you guys are open 7 days a week, or what are your store hours there?
Yeah, yeah, we keep it spinning 7 days a week.
It's great.
We've been very fortunate that we had cash flow and were profitable really since the get-go, and so we were able to afford, employees, and we got great employees, and
Oh, that's
so,
that's that's great.
yeah, I'm only in Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and then we've got 2 people,
So
and Jackie's in on Friday.
that's great. So you've got people. So I was talking to another record store owner here, in New Jersey, and he said that his key, and he's there all the time, but he goes, once you have 1 or 2 trusted employees, you can kinda take a step back, because 'cause they're running the show, and in terms of, but his employees are very knowledgeable about vinyl. He, like, had to hire them, he quizzed them, it's so, in case people wanted to know certain things, so, but to
Yeah.
your point, you've got a couple of employees and you don't have to be there 24/7, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I've got a neighbor that's a master retailer. He runs, running shoe stores, and he, shares little tidbits with me, and he said, "Business grows at the speed of trust." And so, when you surround yourself with trustworthy people, your business is gonna grow, and so we've got very, very trustworthy employees.
That's great.
But
Yeah,
yeah, he
that's
came in,
fantastic.
Mark, our lead guy came in, and he had guy liner on,
Yeah.
had, black jacket, crazy hair. He says, "I wanna work here," and I was like, "Dude, this is about the only place you can work in this town." So,
It's great, man, it's great.
yeah.
So we've seen this I was talking to someone recently about this. We've seen this crazy resurgence over the last 10, 15 years, even last 5 years of vinyl albums coming back out. I read this nutty statistic recently. I think in 2025, there were more vinyl records sold than there was in 1984.
Oh, wow.
What does that tell you? Isn't that nuts? I
It's
it's isn't that crazy?
That means a lot of kids had cool parents or rock and roll uncles,
Exactly.
because they're kinda that, 25 to 35 demographic, I think,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
really, the iPod generation. If you grew up hearing compressed music coming in, over the internet,
Yeah.
or through your iPod or whatever it would be, you're not really and you set that person down between 2 speakers and drops an analog, record on, I mean, their head explodes, and so,
It's a lot
yeah.
different.
And
It's a lot
owning and
different.
touching, the tactile owning
Yeah,
and touching of, an album
exactly.
is a
It's
mind blower.
vastly different.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but, do you also do I was watching some of your Instagrams, speaking of, like, turntables and speakers, do you show people how to clean records, how to take care of records? Like, tell me a little bit about that, like, the behind the scenes of that.
Yeah, yeah, so we've got a pretty robust, YouTube channel, that, it's actually monetized, man. It's like I went on there the other day, had to sit through a Geico commercial. I'm like, "Dang,
Wow,
dog."
that's awesome. Yeah.
So, well,
It's
it's
fantastic.
cool. Yeah, but
Yeah.
sitting through commercials isn't any fun. But,
Yeah.
yeah, again, my son Trey was like, "Dad, you've really gotta you got to go basic here because we understand this. Guys your age understand how to clean a record, how a record player works. You really got to go basic. I'm like, no, man. And so I did something on turntables, and guys were just kind of commenting like, "Where does the sound come out? And the turntable looks so small. Where do they put the speakers?" I'm like, "They really don't know. They don't know that
Yeah,
you need a
no.
separate set of speakers."
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
so I've got a series on vintage gear, hooking up vintage gear, mixing modern stuff with vintage, how to clean records, dry clean them, wet clean them, use a machine. Use a
It's you know what, you could learn and you obviously know what you're doing, and I think it's a great it's great information for people 'cause I don't think I have no idea how the thing works, literally. I watched a few of your videos, I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense." You
Well, our
know?
big one, we just been getting a lot of that's really blown up is, should I wash my record before I play it for the first time? Absolutely, you should. And I show with a flashlight, shining on the brand new pristine record, all the gunk that comes from the manufacturing process that we need to wipe out or to wash off before you play for the first time. And so, again, a mind blower for a lot of people. They think that
Oh, hu absolutely.
comes
Yeah,
from a white glove,
yeah.
sterile manufacturing process.
It's you know what you're doing, Stefan? It's a great spin on vinyl and music and turntables and speakers because 'cause you're showing the behind the scenes of how the thing actually works, how to take care of it, where the sound comes from, bass, treble, mono, all this stuff, and I think it's very, very, educational for people, but it's also you do it in a way where it's it's like what your son said, it's just basic stuff, which resonates with people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're doing a great job with that.
Well, you gotta have tough skin, man. You put yourself out there, and I get the comments, "Oh my god, did you see how he touched that record?" And my Trey knows how
This
sensitive I am, man, so he
really
literally goes
yeah.
through and gets those comments out of there. This'll send dad over the frickin' edge, man.
I listen, I, I actually, identify with that because once I started putting myself out there and
Sure.
all this stuff, I was getting some comments here and there, and then my daughter was like, "Don't freak out about it. Who cares?" I was like, "Yeah, but this guy," but now I kinda don't mind it, I'm like, "Ah, whatever," it is what it
You
is.
know, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, so gonna go back to music right now. So you're classic rock. Like what type? What's your go to stuff? What do you listen to?
yeah, man. I totally classic rock. Like things a little more obscure '70s guitar rock. I'm a big fan of Earl Bailey on Sirius
Oh,
XM on the
sure.
deep tracks.
Deep tracks. Yep.
Yep, that's kind of my go-to jam. Kind of the more obscure uh, stuff that needs to be unearthed. Great music
Yep.
that isn't heard as
Yeah.
much. But yeah, definitely kind of a Hendrix, The Who, The Stones, The
All
Kinks.
that.
Those are all
Okay.
top. CCR, Neil Young. Those are
Okay.
all top bands. But it might be a function of kind of where we live. But I really the last couple of years have been kind of on a roots Americana, alt
Oh.
country kind of jam.
Okay.
We call
Yeah.
it y'all alternative and
The alternative. Oh, I've never heard of
y'all
that one before.
alternative. So
That's good.
Sturgill Simpson, Tyler Childers. I'm really into Charlie Crockett these days. Um, just a little that it's kind of surrounded by that. We've got kind of we feel the influence of Nashville here, and
Of
so a
course.
lot of the
Yeah.
artists coming through North Georgia, coming through Atlanta, are roots Americana alt country guys. And so yeah,
Right.
that's
That's
actually
cool.
been more of my jam
That's
uh,
good.
of
I
late.
I don't know I don't know any alternative, but I so but it is I guess it is a function of the geography of where you are,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
That's actually pretty cool, man. So I like to ask people like these random fictional questions. So you're a big
Sure.
music guy. So one of the ones, my favorite ones to ask is this is where you walk into a bar, the bar is completely empty, and you see somebody sitting at the bar by themselves. It's a famous musician, singer, alive or dead, and you've got 1 hour with them. Who would that be for you?
Oh my gosh, it would be Neil Young for sure.
Neil Young.
And
Okay.
I hear he's a grumpy Canadian. You know, he's getting a little grumpier with age.
Yep.
He's curmudgeonly, but man, I would love to just sit down and I've followed him since day one. I was a fan even in the hard years, man.
Oh, wow.
The 80s and the 90s. It was hard to be a Neil Young fan. There was some weird music
Yeah.
coming out. And
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
rode the ride with him. Just got to see him in the Steel Hearts or Chrome Hearts not too long ago, and it was
Oh,
just
you seen him a couple of
amazing.
times? You seen him a couple of
Oh
times
my
or
gosh, yeah, probably up to about
alright.
10, 12 times.
That's
Yeah.
great, man.
So
Yeah.
yes, I would love to
So
see Neil over in a corner, buy him a what's a good Canadian beer? Labatt's,
Labatt, I think Labatt,
or
yeah, it's
or
about the one I know.
Molson. Buy him a Molson and
Molson Gold,
yeah,
there you go. So
yeah.
for you, it would be, all right, Neil Young, and he's still out there, right?
Oh my
He's still
gosh, yeah.
yeah,
He's kinda, I think, pacing himself. He's pulled the plug on a couple tours, but, I
yeah,
think he's in his 80s,
he's gotta be.
which blows
I've
me
seen
away.
yeah, and he's still playing, but I've seen some interviews with him, and he is a little curmudgeon, as you say. He's kinda,
Yeah,
yeah, a little angry, but whatever. He's got a heck of a history and an incredible musician.
yeah,
So
yeah.
for you, Neil Young, best concert you ever saw, worst concert you ever saw?
Ooh. So 1981, um, just getting out of high school, and the Rolling Stones are coming to Orlando. And this is how just off the wall I was. I was thinking, I need to see these guys before they quit touring. You
Right,
know, in the
right.
meantime, I just saw them last year. They're in their 80s and they're still touring. But
I know.
somehow I had it in my mind, I better go see the Stones before I never get to see the Stones.
Right.
And uh tickets for $15. My buddies and I
Oh,
thought it was the
love it.
end of the freaking world, man.
It's great.
$15! And you had to send off. You had to go
Kid
get a money order and send off, and
oh,
it was a lottery. And so that was, they toured behind Tattoo You, an amazing, just one of those rock and roll days at the Tangerine Bowl up in Orlando. Beautiful day,
that's
bunch of
great.
opening acts, and yep,
Yeah.
that was probably the most excitement. I've still got the poster from that
Oh, do you really?
hanging up in
Wow,
the shop. So yeah, big Stones fan.
that's great.
Worst concert I've ever been to. Wow, you have stumped the chump
It's
on
good.
that one,
I
man.
stumped the chump on that one. All right, Stefan. Maybe
Well,
so you like
the one
you're
where I
looking to
lost
go
my hearing wasn't
yeah.
a favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Triumph show in '87 did it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, but so Stones, so and that was the Tattoo You tour?
Yep. Tattoo You.
Oh,
They
that's
were, I
good,
mean,
man.
looking back, I was afraid these guys are getting old, man. I need to see them,
Yeah,
and
yep, yep,
literally
yep.
last year I'm seeing them. They are old. I saw
I
them at
know.
down in
We saw them
Atlanta.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went and saw them, and I never saw them before, I always wanted to, but, I said this on another, podcast, I couldn't believe at 81 at the time, he's running around the stage like a maniac,
Yeah.
Mick
Yeah.
Jagger. They sounded I I thought they sounded pretty damn good, what do I know? But, but comparatively to their age, they were kinda propped up, but, they just I think they're coming out with another album.
Yep. Yep, they are.
Yeah,
So I
another
don't
one.
get a lot of props from my kids musically. They accuse me of being a dad rocker. But
Yeah, okay.
the one concert that I get some respect from them is I got to see Nirvana down
Oh,
in
yeah.
Miami, and so
Oh, that's
that
good.
was a big show for me. I'm a big Stevie Ray fan, and so I got to see him
Oh,
about four or five times.
Stevie
Um,
Ray Vaughan?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow,
So
that
he
must have
was
been great.
got to see him. Love the Dead. Probably seen the Dead about a dozen times.
Oh, wow, okay, so
Yeah, yeah,
you truly are a concert that is one band, one guy I wished I'd seen before he tragically died, Stevie Ray
yeah,
Vaughan. I was just listening
yeah.
to him yesterday. I'm like, "Oh my god, what a talent," you
Yep.
know?
That was once in a lifetime talent. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was what was he, 37 when he died?
Yep. Yep. Young
I
guy
know.
still. And he had just
Crazy.
gotten clean, and so he was kind of
Yeah.
living life and as a He was a
I
clean and sober guy, and yeah.
I'll never that was like what year was that? 89? And it's 90-ish? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm gonna say I think you're close, 89, 90, right
Right
around it.
about there. It was so weird for me because I had just gotten into him and I had a house painting business as I was on the side of a house painting and I had on like 102.7, which at the time was a big rock station here in New York, or it might have been another station. And Jim Kerr was the DJ and he just said tragically announced that Stevie Ray Vaughan died in a helicopter crash. I still remember I was
Wow.
literally I'm like, "Oh my god," you know? Crazy stuff. What a talent though, but that's at least you got to see him a few times. That's fantastic.
Well, my memory of that is, came back from work. I was at work, came back from lunch, and three of my buddies kind of came into my office and closed the door, and they were really
Yeah.
hushed, and I'm like, "Well, what's
Right.
going on?" And they told me, and they were kind of kidding with it. They were kind of serious. They said, "Yeah, dude." I was like, "Why'd you all come in my office?" It's like, "Dude, we didn't want you to jump out the window, bro."
Yeah.
It was like we were,
Wow.
we afraid you were
Yeah.
gonna lose it, man. And I was like, "Yeah, I
Wow.
remember that."
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been to a ton of shows here. Um, what else do I want to ask you? Let me see here. Just go and I could pause through this here. Just trying I got some other things here I wanted to ask you. Oh, I want to talk to you. Tell me about this record store day. And I never knew about record store day until I started doing this and talking to people who owned record stores. Is this a once a year event, record store day?
It's actually technically twice a year. So Record Store Day proper is in April, and
Okay.
then they do RSD Black Friday
Okay.
on Black Friday. So they don't officially call it Record Store, but RSD Black Friday. The same people put it together. An amazing group of people. It's volunteer. I'm sure there's some salary somewhere. Somebody
Yeah.
might be getting paid, but for the most part, it's a volunteer effort to get people out supporting local independent
Yeah.
record stores, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. They'll do a pressing of like 3,000 for the entire country, and we're all kind of vying for those. They'll parcel them out. We'll all get a couple. Um, so they're really it's a fun excuse to go get in line at 3 o'clock in the morning with the
Yeah.
vinyl freaks,
Uh-huh.
and hope that you get get your pick. We call it
Yeah.
the fastest 40 minutes in retail, man. Jackie and I
Oh, is that it? People just they pop in and pop out real
we
quick?
spend a month getting ready for that, agonizing over the list. What should we get? What we should, what's going to sell? What's not going to sell?
Yeah.
And get there early, open the doors. People have been there since some of them 3 o'clock in the morning. It's usually cold.
Right.
We buy everybody coffee and donuts and everything, and it's over, and it's like just all hell breaks loose, and then we're just
That's
kind of
great.
looking at each other, like what happened? What just
That's
happened?
I saw the photo on your Instagram, people are lined up outside, then it led me down that rabbit hole of other record store owners, and it's just people, like you said, lining up early in the morning on sidewalks.
And bigger stores and stores with the space will do special things. They'll have bands,
Yeah.
they'll have food. I mean, the sky's the limit, what you can
Right.
do. But yeah, I am deeply appreciative of the RSD folks for creating
Yeah.
that. And honestly, between you and me,
Yeah.
there isn't a whole lot I'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and stand in line for. I really wouldn't. I mean, and I
Right.
love vinyl, but it's just people get caught up in the fun of
Yeah.
that, and just
Yeah, no, I get it.
being
It's
being in community with other
yeah,
vinyl guys.
it's pretty so it's twice so it's once a year in April, and then it's on, Black Friday?
Black Friday, yep.
Okay. That's cool. So, do you guys have any rare albums down there? Like,
Man,
hard to find?
um we honestly don't. The kind of person that comes into our store wants a great record in great condition. So by a great record, I mean by an artist, the artist
Yeah.
or band, and they
Right.
want it to be in good condition. We really don't get people in sweating the pressing and the variant and that kind of thing. And it's
Yeah.
easy for me to get burned on that because you have to do research because a
Oh, I
valuable
see.
record is a
Yeah.
specific record. It's a specific pressing, and you really need to look at the run out, the code.
Oh, I see.
It's
Yeah.
and I've got burned the couple times I do that. So no, we do not
Okay.
have
Yeah.
super rare records.
Okay. Because the other gentleman I was talking to about the same thing, he said that it's almost like an art. Like you have to make sure you price it just right where you can make enough money, but you're not
Right,
getting ripped off, all that stuff.
right,
Okay.
right.
But no, but your records down there at Deaf Man Vinyl, classic rock, country, new wave, like you got a whole gamut of everything?
Yeah, yeah. We try to have a little bit of everything. We've got a pretty serious jazz collection.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
we go pretty hard on metal, pretty extreme with some black metal, death metal,
Okay.
thrash. Again, my son Trey, that's his jam. That's what he advises on that. Some of that stuff we call just cred records, credibility
Okay.
records. That
Yeah.
we're not going to sell a ton of it, but a real metal person is going to come in and go, "Damn, Lamb of God, Cannibal Corpse," you know. And so same thing
Yeah.
with jazz, same thing on the
Yeah.
rock side. We'll
Yeah.
carry a record that only turns over once or twice a year, but
Right.
I think we need to have it,
Absolutely.
if we're who
Yeah.
we say
That's
we are.
absolutely. What's one band you've never seen but you've always wanted to?
Oh my gosh.
That's a
Dude,
loaded
I've
question.
seen them. I've seen them all. It feels like,
Really?
God, you
Gotta think.
stumped me on that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at this the side B stump.
Yeah.
You've seen them all. You've seen too many. That's right. Yeah, there you go. That's all right.
And I'm on a roll right now. I
Are
always
you?
say there's nothing more dangerous than a nostalgic baby boomer with disposable income, man. If tour comes to town, I'm there, man.
That's great. That's great.
Uh,
What's the big venue down there where you guys are? What,
wow, my kind of happy place is a smaller 1,500 to 3,000 feet seat spot. We've got the Eastern, which is pretty much standing room.
right.
They've kind of got a bar, a rail
Yeah.
you kind of lean against. We've got the
That's cool.
Tabernacle
Yeah.
downtown Atlanta. Then we've got State Farm Arena, which is
Okay.
for the bigger shows. Then we've
Yeah.
got
Yeah. Yeah.
Mercedes-Benz, the big football stadium. That's where somebody like the Stones would go. But yeah,
Okay.
any given night in Atlanta, there's five.
Something going on. And you're
Yeah,
how far from Atlanta are you guys?
about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Okay. So it's worth the drive.
It gets a little hairy at 2 o'clock in the morning, man, coming back.
Well, then again, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Stop and get that pecan waffle at the Waffle House. And
Right. That's great,
man,
man.
eyes getting heavy from all those
Uh-huh.
carbohydrates.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. I've been there, my friend. I get you. I get you. Um, this has been good. So what I'm gonna whoops, sorry. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit
Sure.
and edit the stuff out, but I'll ask you too, like where can people find you? And then when edit the whole thing down, we'll plug, I'll tag you, plug the YouTube channel, and plug anything else that you want to do. So let me get one more good question in here for you. It's going well though, right?
Oh yeah, man. Love
Yeah,
it.
man.
Um,
Yeah.
I think one of your questions that was intriguing was, is this the B side? What was the A side?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that. Want to do that one?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Stefan, you've got Deaf Man Vinyl, right? And that's like your life now. So your A side, your side A in life, right? What was your side A prior to your side B?
So Jackie and I were both kind of creative professionals, I guess you'd say. So I came up in the ad agency world, so copywriter,
Oh,
creative director, used to shoot a lot of commercials. Jackie's a graphic designer, web designer, and so yeah, we were always kind of, got paid well to just be crazy, and
that's great.
think
Yeah, yeah,
abstractly.
right. Okay.
But yeah, that was so. Yeah, we had a good run. Had a real good run. Ran our own agency. Did a lot of work with Chick-fil-A, which is kind of a big deal down here.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, had a
That's
good run
great.
at that. Yeah,
And now side B is Deaf Man Vinyl.
and I did a YouTube video on this because I think there's this perception that a record store has to be a hobby, a money losing hobby, where you're barely getting by.
Yeah.
And I really was trying to kind of share that, if you run it like a business, and I think most of the record store guys that, we go to any town, and I try to hook up and just shoot this crap with record store owners. Most of us are doing okay.
Yeah. It's good.
uh, these are good days to be in that business. Margins are tight. Retail is
Right.
retail, but you can actually make a living doing this.
That's great, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, our retirement guy, our money guy was like, "Hey, when are you guys gonna start pulling money out?" I was like, "Dude, we're making money. We're good." And so,
Yeah.
I'm technically retired from the ad
Yeah.
agency world, and this is kind
That's
of
awesome. Do
supporting
you
us.
do you miss all that ad agency stuff?
Man, there is a burden and a fear getting up every morning knowing that I gotta be creative today.
No, I get it.
And
Yeah.
you throw the bucket into the well, and some days it comes up empty, man, and it's just
Right.
like, this is gonna be a
Yeah.
long day. Um,
I got you. A lot of pressure, right?
a lot of pressure, a lot of fun, but a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. You know, owning a record store beats working, man, for sure.
I
It's
hear it's great, man.
yeah,
I'm happy for you guys. It's definitely fantastic, and I'm glad we connected, and I found you
absolutely.
on Instagram. So to wrap things up here, Stefan, so you've got Deaf Man Vinyl that is down in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and where can people find you? What's the best place to find you online?
So they can shop the store at deafmanvinyl.com.
Okay,
We'll ship it just about anything we've got in the stores online, and we'll ship it out to you.
that's
Uh,
great.
Records are $5 and to ship, and they come in a custom record mailer so that they arrive in good shape.
Yeah.
Anything over 75, we ship it for free, and so
Okay.
people absolutely can shop with us on there. We've got a really robust YouTube channel, got all the videos about vinyl care, about collecting, about valuing, your record collection,
It's great.
and always putting stuff on that. Would love for people to check us out there and
Check us out
subscribe.
there.
Yeah,
Okay, and then Instagram as well, right?
yeah, yeah. Do the Instagram.
All right.
But
Awesome,
love
awesome.
love it when people reach out. Always try to
Yeah,
get back to people when people are making comments. I always try to get
that's
right
good.
back and
It's
get the
good.
get the conversation going.
Well, I gotta tell you, I gotta hand it to you and Jackie. I mean, you guys have done, especially your YouTube channel. I mean, it's got a lot of views on it. It's monetized, and you guys are having a great time with all this music information and all this
Yeah.
technical jargon on how to fix stereos and records and all that. I think it's just I, I I've really never come across anyone else quite like you with these albums and stuff. I really haven't, man. And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
It's just like it's interesting. This guy's telling me how to clean an album and how to, fix a stereo or
Yeah.
do whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think that's it's a great niche, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's I'm living my best life, as they say, getting
That's
I was telling
fantastic.
somebody, 16-year-old me didn't have two dimes to rub together, man. I couldn't afford good gear, but here
Yeah.
I am, I'm 63,
Okay.
and I'm 16-year-old me's living his
It's
best
great.
life, man. I'm doing the
You are an
same stuff,
inspiration to us all, my friend.
wearing my concert tees, burning incense,
Yeah.
listening to records,
That's
going to
great.
shows. So,
That's awesome. So
yeah,
you're back at that 16-year-old kid.
I am, and he's
And
having fun.
let me tell you something, that is a tremendous side B, dude. I think we should all aspire to that, to be honest with you, Stefan. Well, this has been a pleasure talking to you here,
Absolutely, man.
and even though we're, I don't know, 1,000 miles apart, I don't even know how far. I'm up in Jersey, you're down in Georgia.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's, I think what you've done, and I congratulate you on the success of Deaf Man Vinyl
Ah,
and
thanks.
your social media. And the past, all that stuff is behind you. You don't have to wake up and feel nervous to create something for
Yeah,
Chick-fil-A. I get it.
yeah.
you know, um, but it's been a true pleasure to have you on the Side B Session podcast, the Vinyl Brew Lounge, Stefan. And I will let everyone know where to find you. Obviously, at deafmanvinyl.com. And is it on YouTube? It's at Deaf Man Vinyl.
Yep,
Just that
yep. It
perfect.
is.
And same for Instagram, correct?
Yes, it is.
Great. Uh Everyone, thank you for watching tonight and for listening. If you're listening to us on Spotify, but this has been a true pleasure having Steffen Smith on the show. And my name is Bobby Hunter, and thank you all for tuning in tonight to the Side B Session podcast of the Vinyl Brew Lounge. And until next time, take care.